What is the ALS?
Advanced light source.
It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe every part. The ALS creates X-ray light electrons that can be used in various experiments.
I work right there at the Lawrence Hall, so I look down here all the time, and I've always wondered what you guys were doing down here. So now I know a lot more. Thank you.
I heard about this place for a while, and so it's nice to be here. I'm not a science guy, so I really still don't understand any of it, but it's fascinating. Fascinating facility.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I've been going to school like in Berkeley, looking up the hill, not really knowing what goes on here. So it was nice to get a look inside and see people at work.
I liked it because it was so interesting to see like all this stuff is so advanced, and yet it like just looks so complicated and like almost like it looks very science fiction, and I just really appreciated that.
Because it's non-fiction.
I know, it's science reality.
I found it fascinating to see how just out of a small particle you have so many beams coming out, and there are so many applications that will affect the future. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I've looked at this building from down in Berkeley since I was a kid, when it was the cyclotron. So to go inside now as it's been repurposed was fabulous.
It's really neat. There's so many different machines and experiments there. And there's actual scientists all throughout the building, some currently performing experiments, and others actually just explaining how things work over there, and the science, biology, solar cells, you know, it's phenomenal. Had a great time.
A lot of nice models and demonstrations and helpful people to answer all kinds of really complicated questions. Many experiments that benefit people, that advance science, that make discoveries that then build into more discoveries.
Well, certainly there's scientific applications, commercial applications, medical applications. I mean, everyone has their different specialty, and it's neat talking to the scientists about all the different applications that are involved.
What I was most impressed with is all the things that it's used to do for human medical discoveries, for making circuits for electronics. I thought that was very impressive. And the fact that it uses X-rays, and that companies other than the lab actually come in and do their experiments here. But that's bad security, because one company would love to get some of the information from another company, but I just thought it was great. It was very interesting.
It was a great tour, and the scientists all around the perimeter are amazing. They managed to distill it down to my level so I can understand.
I thought it was great. I learned a lot about X-rays and excitations of particles, and what kind of science is going on here. It's amazing all the different things that they study. I thought it was great.
Protein crystals.
Protein crystals, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So I think the crystals were my favorite. And the carbon guy on the other side, where they're using the infrared guy.
I liked when it talked, there was like a presentation thing about how they were creating artificial photosynthesis.
I thought the favorite thing was that I found was the tomography part, where based on the surface that we cannot see with naked eye, they can produce an image out of it.
All the precision machining that had to be done to put into the parts to make the whole thing work.
I learned that it can image molecules that affect our everyday lives.
How was the tour? What did you like?
Very fun and many new things and the highlight of the ALS.
It was a wonderful experience. The crew was very helpful.
Yes, they were. They were fabulous. There's great stories going on out there. There's kids in there that'll be inspired to new science. There'll be breakthroughs that'll save the planet. It's awesome.
Well, I think the coolest thing we saw, we learned a lot about electrons and how they heat them up and make
it around the rotor, like straight down at the middle. And the coolest thing I saw was the spider thing.
It was really amazing. We got to learn all about the different experiments that were going on here. Mine was how they tried to figure out the shape of protein and learning about what protein does.
I think it's really cool how they use laser scanners to digitally paint objects on the computer.
What we saw was the spider head and how fast it draws clothes, like really, really quickly.
I saw the tumors growing in the mouse, and it was a bad cell killing all the good cells, and they're working on some medicine to determine which are bad. Thank you.
Well, the thing that was kind of coolest to me is I didn't realize that there was so many biological aspects to what they're using the ALS for. I thought it was all very fundamental particle physics, and so it was kind of cool to see them looking at proteins and crystals and stuff like that, right? What did you think was cool, Mary?
I thought the protein and the jaw trap spider part were cool.
Oh, that was cool.
And I stumped one of the guys by asking them a question. Jaw spiders mouths close really fast, and I made it of elastic protein. I was asking what that protein or what that elastic string was made out of. He didn't know.
You like seeing where your tax dollars went?
Yeah, I certainly do. And I think a lot of the research that's being done is well worth the tax money. So no qualms with that at all whatsoever.
It's going to a good cause. Solving diseases, looking at DNA, cleaning the environment. Yeah, I'd say tax dollars is going to a good place here.
So I just wish there was more time to go through everything because there's not enough time.
It's an amazing opportunity. It's like, but make sure you get on the list for next time. I guess it's every other year, but it's just an amazing opportunity to see what's going on here in Berkeley.
It was way better than we could have imagined.
Yeah, we went from the moon to the bottom of the ocean.
And it seems like we're going to have to come again because all you get, I mean, there's no way to absorb all of it. It was awesome.
We're the geeky science moms, and we're going to go have a beer now.
It's very interesting. There's a lot of aluminum foil in there that I learned is very important around the equipment.
They told us that tin foil is a better conductor than a metal.
And the aluminum foil was probably a highlight for me. I have my sample. My souvenir. I found that fascinating. That's used for heat.
And we were all amazed at how much tinfoil is used in science.
And duct tape.
And duct tape.
You know, the tin foil around the devices is kind of interesting to keep, you know, foreign matter from interfering with whatever mechanisms are going on.
They use aluminum foil to evenly heat the things.
One thing that we saw is this special tinfoil that has less oxygen in it and it's thicker. And if you've ever felt regular tinfoil, you can actually feel the difference. See, it's really, really awesome.
I'm interested in getting the aluminum foil concession. There's got to be a fortune in it.
What else did you learn? What was the most exciting thing?
Yeah, you want us to tell us? I still think the tin foil.
The tin foil. Yeah.